Hey everybody, it's Mike
And it's Jerry.
from IMS Sites, and we just wanted to give you guys another PSA video, kind of updating you on what we've been doing, where we've been for the past couple months, and kind of what we plan on doing in the future. So the first things first, nobody died, like nobody went to the hospital.
Yeah, we're still here.
We're still here. I know the last post that we did was like on a Facebook page in like December to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We've just been really, really busy and have had like Murphy's Law hit us in the worst way. So basically what ended up happening was back in October we got a lot of platforms for guys to work on, to repair and customize and stuff. I think we had close to 20, 25 something when all was said and done by the end of October.
And it takes about 2 weeks to do a repair, so do the math.
Yeah.
The guy at the bottom of the list is going to get his gun in like, what's 20 times 2? 40 weeks?
Yeah.
Almost a year. So we tried to bump that up as much as possible.
Yeah. And basically what happened was we went to Zulu's grand opening game, which was on October 4th, and we got a whole bunch of stuff. We were already working on a bunch of stuff, and then like a week and a half later we were getting more stuff. So by the time all was said and done, at the worst possible moment,
Murphy's Law hit us really hard, and I injured my wrist in my MMA classes. So I had to wear a splint and I had to wrap it up. The biggest problem was not so much that, it wasn't impossible for me to work. It's just that my doctor told me you have to stay off. You have to not use your wrist at all.
otherwise you're going to be feeling pain for the rest of your life.
I didn't even need the stint. My brother's a doctor over at he's a medical assistant over at the urgent care, and he and the doctor over there actually forced me to wear like a big metal splint on my wrist, specifically so that I could not use it because I kept on trying to work.
Yeah.
And so
kind of want to tell everybody how that worked out.
I kind of worked with one arm and him, which was kind of like working with no arms.
Yeah. So pretty much what happened was like Jerry was like in and out of commission for like a couple months.
Yeah, I haven't even been able to go back to training yet.
Yeah. Like we didn't even like really start being able to work on platforms until like December, January-ish. More like December-ish.
Yeah, when I can actually take the splint off. Because
Yeah.
I had it all the way up until Christmas.
And we've been pretty much playing catch up. But
In the meantime, we were working on the guns. It was just very slow because I couldn't do much.
yeah.
I did all the very fine work,
Yeah.
and then he did all the heavy lifting in that regard. And I'm the mechanic. He's the sales guy. Do the math and figure out how well that worked out.
Yeah.
Or not that the labor was bad or that the quality was bad. It was still good quality work.
Yeah.
It's just it was very slow.
Because he had to like
'Cause I had to
teach me everything. He had to
explain
explain everything
things.
and teach me everything. And I think like the major thing was it was also it was kind of like a blessing in disguise because it made me realize like for those of you guys that don't know, I'm an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half from him, and I now started since December. I started coming Monday, Tuesday, and on Sunday. And Monday and Tuesday, for those of you guys that don't know, when you're leaving the New York area, like the New York City area, because I work in Hoboken, to drive all the way up to Branchville in Sussex, it's
Out of the country can be quite daunting.
yeah, and especially when traffic is a nightmare, it's nuts. So basically, what went down was like, it was kind of a realization like even if he was better, which he's not here now, I should still be coming up here doing this, and
We're working together a little more.
yeah, we're definitely doing a lot more, and I think it's definitely helped a lot more, especially since his hand got broken, busted.
break.
No, I meant busted. And now it's like at the point where, all right, you're doing this, okay, I'll shim this. All right, you're doing this, all right, I'll clean this. All right, you need this, I'll cut silver thing. Like so, a lot of the mediocre stuff, like the high quality fine tuning stuff, that's still his department. But like the stuff that's just monotonous and takes a long amount of like a huge
Like
amount of
assembly.
time, like disassembling a platform, putting a platform back together, cleaning the platform, doing shim jobs, fixing AOEs, all that kind of stuff. That's stuff that I can do now, and it's less time that he has to worry about focusing on that, and he can
Where I can
focus
on soldering. I can focus on swapping out the motors
yeah,
or upgrading motors. Working on hop ups.
yeah, like and like diagnosing stuff. Like that's So that's the major benefit, and I think it kind of speaks for itself because now we're at like 4 or 5.
Yeah, we pumped out quite a few guns since then.
Yeah, and we originally were at 20 something. So it's just that, and a lot of, and the whole reason why we really got like kind of stopped, and it probably should have been a lot quicker than that, was we ran into a bunch of platforms that were just unique and they were just roadblocks. Like,
Yeah,
we had to like work on them for days. Like, we just finished an XCR that took us,
3 months.
yeah, you know,
Literally 3 months.
I had
started it in January, or in the end of December, and we just finished it this week.
it'd be like PTSD staring at the box. Like, you just get horrible nightmares of like all the like all the
Yeah.
times we had to open it and close it.
Once it was done, we just wanted it gone.
Yeah,
Like,
and
dude, take your gun.
we're still working on that. Like, come pick it up, it's finished. But now it shoots like a dream.
Yeah, now it actually works really well.
And
And I'm glad you don't own one anymore.
yeah, definitely.
It would be way too soon if I saw another one.
I'll tell Rob to hold off on giving it to
Yeah.
us. But yeah, so now it's like we had like a couple of those. We had like 4 or 5 of those, and that really like set us back a while. But with the exception of that, a lot of them we just been trying to pump out as quickly as we can, and it's just a vast improvement. It just makes so much more sense. Like, just suck it up, get in the car, come up here and help them, because now it's just something that we can do, and it's also better for coming up and talking shop and doing whatever else that we need to do together. You know, it definitely helps.
Oh, yeah, because now we can work on guns. I could work on the guns, and you could do stuff on the computer for the store.
Yeah, so like, you know, we make sure that we do the inventory and the roster and all the parts and everything. What do we need to order? What don't we need to order? So it's just a vast improvement system, and we've been getting more and more organized. We've been organizing platforms more, the parts more. Like, it's a lot easier. Like, because a good portion of that time was trying to find stuff, and now I feel like everything is a lot more categorized, and you know,
Yeah.
and like, you know, we have it all in like its own little bin, and we know exactly where to find it. So it's just this.
Yeah, this is our first year, so it's kind of like there's a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a learning curve.
Is what it is. It's, you know, we're hitting that learning curve. We don't have anybody teaching us how to do it. It's just,
Yeah,
you know,
like we went for our taxes for the IRS. Like,
oh god, and that
yes.
was an eye opener.
yeah, and we were just like, okay, so we need this, and this. Like, I mean, I brought pretty much everything that we had. I just was like missed like 1 or 2 things, and it was just crazy to be like, you know, like it's just a huge learning curve because I never experienced. I didn't know what we needed and what we don't need, but like we're getting a lot better at it, and that probably is a good segue into some of the things that we've been doing for the platform, for the company in general, is
Yeah, we didn't take this time just to work on the guns.
yeah, since it was kind of like the slow season because of, you know, winter, even though it wasn't really that cold of a winter, we were using that time frame to really go ahead and start like changing different stuff that benefits you guys. So one of the things is all of our accessories, where we were originally getting them from, we found a location that we get them from for cheaper, and because of that, we're going to pass the cost on to you guys. So we were originally getting those
Pass the savings.
pass the savings onto you guys. So pretty much what ended up happening was like, for example, we had the scopes, like the magnified scopes that we have. We were originally trying to sell them for $120, $140. Now we're selling them for $90. We had aim points that we were originally trying to sell for $80, the T1 micro replicas and the M2 replicas, and now we're selling them for $55. You know, the comp M4s, which are closer to around replicas that are closer to around 100 something, they're now over to, God, I really hope we don't get like a lawsuit from Aimpoint. And then
Well, they're replicas. They don't even have trades.
yeah, they don't even have trades or anything, but you know. And then which was around $100, now it's around 65. So pretty much most of the accessories that we have, if not all, I'm pretty sure all the accessories that we have, we're now selling at a much cheaper cost than what we were originally doing for.
Which is great.
Which is fantastic, and and we were able to drop it to a point where a lot of the savings got passed to you guys, and I think that's like the main thing.
That's originally what we wanted to do. We
Yeah.
didn't want to open up and start selling all these different products at, you know,
Ridiculous high
At-
prices.
3-digit prices,
Yeah.
and then have everybody come in and say, "Oh man, I wish I could buy that." We want to be able to, you know,
Yeah,
help all the airsofters out.
We've been-
that was us when we were going to stores. I'd be like, "Oh man, I really want that ACOG, but I don't want to spend $150 on it."
yeah, we've been down this road, and like we get it 100%, and that was the main reason why we did this, was because, you know, we were sending our stuff to get repaired at places, and it was coming back like worse than we sent it. Like, we were buying stuff that was ridiculously high priced when you could find it online for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and these are big name airsoft stores that we will not.
Yeah, that we will not. I mean, like obviously, like and again, this is a tough industry. We don't talk smack about anybody. We try to avoid that as much as we can. Everybody's built this their own way. They put their own blood, sweat, and tears into it. And at the same exact time, I understand what a lot of these other companies do because this isn't our breadwinner right now. Like we're teachers, so like we don't have to worry about coming into the shop and selling a certain amount of a product because we won't be able to like pay for our kids' school or like pay like. So I get that.
Our main focus is the quality of our work right now,
and we can really focus on that because, like I said, we have our main source of income is coming from other sources, so we can be extremely flexible. You know, we can get something that doesn't work and then just toss it to the side and then get something that does, because we really don't have to worry about like being at the point where it's like, oh man, if I don't sell this, like I'm not going to be able to have dinner tonight. So I think that's like a major thing to go. Like I get why companies do that. And
the
stuff
drawback
like that.
is we take a lot of time.
Yeah, we take a lot of time, and we're not able to invest so much. You know, it's not like we have a ton of equity to just pour in and get all this different stuff. So we focus on what we're good at, and what we're really good at is maintenance, repairs, custom work, paint jobs. That's our bread and butter. Like, you know, again, I never know what direction this company's going to take us or what we're going to be able to do with it or how it's going to be interacting with you guys. But the main things I always want to stand, and that's quality service, that's quality craftsmanship, and that's always being able to get something that you need. Like, that's the main thing, like, for us. And that will never change. Like, if there's one thing I can promise you, is that won't change. Because we're players before we became businessmen, and we get it. Like, we don't want guys to have to go through what we had to go through because it was a nightmare, and it costed us thousands of dollars on stuff, like half the stuff that we didn't need.
That was just you and Nick.
Yeah, that was just me and one
Teammate.
a teammate. Yeah, you know, like that's not even calculating what we all like dropped into it. So, you know, I think that's kind of the main direction to go in with this, and to continue going with that. So, with that said, there was some things that did change in price, and in the opposite way, where they went up. And we did add a new policy. So pretty much how this goes is the only thing that actually went up in price is BBs. The batteries are still the same. It's still 15 for 7.4s. It's still 25 for 11.1s. We still have the 7.4.
Is it 25 or 20?
25.
Okay.
The issue that we were kind of running into with we don't have chargers yet. We have chargers.
We've had chargers. We just didn't like them.
We didn't like them. Like, they would charge your battery 6 or 7 or 8 times, and then they would just not work. And I'm not going to sell that if it's not going to be the case. So what we want to do is what we've been doing is like we have like a lot of like the Tenergy small brick chargers, and like they're usually stamped by some company, whether it's Echo One, Turnigy, or some other random company.
Yeah, but they're the same thing. I have one that says Echo One. He has one that says Tenergy or Turnigy or something.
Yeah.
And then they're the same thing. It's just whatever name is on it determines how much you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. And it's
Echo One, it's a lot.
Yeah, like Echo One, it definitely is. It's like usually around like $35. It's a decent charger. It balances it. We've been using it for years. Like, our LiPo batteries just died on us, and we've had them for 2 or 3 years, so it gets the job done.
Oh yeah, and they're cheap.
Yeah,
compared to like, you know.
Yeah, like some of the NIMOS, they're like 35, 40, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's a cheap charger. Yeah, there's smart chargers out there, but that's the one I'm trying to get my hands on, guys, and it's the reason why we don't have balanced chargers. You know, hopefully we'll be able to find one. In the meantime, if you want, Amped Airsoft sells them, Airsoft GI sells them. All these other major guys that you can order stuff from online, they sell them. Just the place that we're currently getting our batteries from, they don't have it. And all the other chargers that they have are either like, it's the one charger that we got, and then it's the other ones that cost like $50 and up, you know, just for us to buy them, like not even to sell them. So like it's ridiculous, and we're not going to do that, especially if we're the only batteries that we sell. Which the reason why we sell the LiPo batteries is because they perform so much better than the NIMOS and the NiCads. Yeah. Like, oh my God, we used to have to like change out NIMOS batteries, and we were charging them right, like we were using smart chargers and stuff. And we were still changing them out every season. Like, you know, we've had them for
sometimes in like one season you'd go through 2.
Yeah, and a lot of like the NIMOS, what was it? Intellect? Was that the
Intellect?
Intellect, which were like the top NIMOS batteries. Those were like $35, $40 and stuff, and we were going through them every season. Like, it was just ridiculous. It really was bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the reason why we sell LiPo batteries, because A, they perform better when it gets hotter and colder. Well,
They last longer.
they last longer. You know, the only downside is like obviously if you completely and utterly treat them like garbage, like they can explode on you. But at the same exact time, that's so rare. Like they're made so much better now than what they were like 5 or 10 years ago.
And now the ones that we have now compared to the ones that we got like 3 years ago,
Yeah.
these are so much smaller.
Yes. Oh
We got
man.
the same batteries that we have the nunchucks and the little small bricks and stuff, and they're so much thinner now. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And like
Even the nunchuck batteries are, and they're not just thinner; they're shorter. I was amazed at how small those 7.4 nunchucks were.
yeah.
It's insane.
And this is also before we realized like you got to store them in room temperature and stuff like that. So I used to keep them up in my attic, which like up in my attic is like my chill place, but in the closet it gets really hot or really cold because the insulation isn't there. So like the batteries were stored in there. So it would sometimes be 15, 10, 5 degrees, and then it would other times where it was like 100 and something, inside that room, and that's where the batteries were stored.
Literally the worst place in the house you could have stored them.
Yeah, and I
As
still
opposed to like the basement where it stays 75 degrees all the time.
yeah, and the worst thing that ever happened was I plugged them in and they shot a couple times and then they stopped shooting.
Yeah.
Which was recently. This was like only 3 or 4 months ago. They didn't blow up, they didn't explode, they got puffy, but that was about it.
Yeah.
So like I think it's just something like and again, if it was really like a serious hazard, we wouldn't be selling them. Like we're not going to sell you something that's going to explode. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
So it just.
These aren't Chinese knockoffs like those. What do you call those? Those hoverboards.
Oh yeah, hoverboards.
That
Yeah.
hover off the ground with using the technology of wheels.
Yeah. But yeah, no, these are like legit batteries, and we're able to get them for you at a very decent cost. Like a 7.4 battery is the equivalent of a 9.6 Nymon, and then those cost you $30 to $40. Ours cost you 15. It's just something where if you guys need batteries, we got them for you. But if you're looking for chargers, we just can't help you right now. I know that sounds stupid, but there's so many. If
We're
you're
working on it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, if you're getting it from us, you're getting it online anyway. So just you can go to the next store and pick it up if you want to, if you don't have batteries that you like. But we have them in all different shapes and sizes. We have them in nunchucks, barrels, and everything. So guys, the only thing that actually went up in price was BBs, and it went up by like $3. So it's like it went from $15 to $18, and that's really
They're
it.
still affordable.
Yeah, they're
good.
still affordable. They're not going to kill you. Like
And they're good BBs.
yeah, they definitely are. Oh, and it's the same price for every brand. So with the exception of
Every
fours,
size.
every size, sorry. With the exception of fours, it's all $18. So it doesn't matter if you're getting twos or threes or 3 twos or whatever. It's all $18. That's the only product that went up in price. Now with that said, we had to change our repair and maintenance policy. I mean, if it isn't obvious now, Jerry spends a lot of times working on this stuff. Like I think
Sometimes overnight.
yeah, sometimes overnight. And there were times where I was like conservative estimates, like that XDR we talked about before was 186 hours. There's no way it was 186 hours. There's definitely more than 186 hours. But that's
2 hours a day every day.
Yeah.
For 3 months straight.
Yeah.
It adds up.
Yeah. So
Or even more because it was that. I think that
yeah,
was just.
there were some
how we
days
broke
where
it
it was
down.
like 5 or 8
Yeah.
hours, into it. So we had to kind of change our policy a little bit because we just had to. Like, the amount of time and energy that Jerry was putting into this stuff and that we were both putting into it, it kind of got, $45. It was just crazy. So what we did was we raised it to, and hold on to your breath, $50. We just raised it $5. So it's nothing crazy. It just went up to $50, and then on top of that, we're doing another. We're not doing an hourly policy, guys. Jerry and I hate hourly policies. It doesn't make sense that you're getting something that's a hobby. We're fixing it for you, and it basically costs like the equivalent of the platform that we're fixing.
Yeah. The only thing that we charge hourly is a rush order and custom labor or custom work.
Yeah, which is $20 an hour, and then the other stuff.
Which basically includes like if you're just giving us a gun to upgrade it and stuff, we're gonna charge you hourly.
Yeah.
And then
As long as
that's
like
about it.
yeah, like just like custom stuff, like with the exception of like a part replacement.
Yeah, or like paint jobs, things
Yeah.
like that. Usually that might end up like being a flat fee,
Yeah.
but custom stuff like installing parts or installing furniture, or
Anything that requires
customizing the gun
dremeling
to
or
look like something else
yeah.
that's totally different.
Yeah.
Bolt pistol.
Don't worry, it's coming, buddy. It's looking good.
Yeah.
And we got a nifty idea we're gonna call you about. But anyway, back to that. The only other addition that we also added to it was we're doing block time. So what block time is when you pay $50 and you're giving us a repair gun, pretty much what's happening is we're working on it, and that encompasses the first 10 hours of working on your gun. That encompasses the tune-up, you know. So that encompasses that, and obviously the first 10 hours of repairing it or figuring out what's wrong with it. The moment we go over 10 hours, it's $35, and that $35 encompasses the next 10 hours. So that's kind of how it goes. So this way, you know, it's nothing too crazy if Jerry's working on your platform for 150 hours.
The average is not usually that.
Yeah.
That was a freak of nature.
Yeah, it's nowhere near it. It's usually around like 10. Like, you know, like 10, 15 hours is usually like on average when it gets cranked out.
Yeah.
And
because I upgraded your Robinson previously, or at least I worked on it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, not as extensive.
Not as extensively as that one.
Yeah.
But that Robinson just, oh man, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
No gun should take that long.
Nah. It's a massive learning curve though, and now we know how to do it. So, but the other thing, like I said, so that's what it is. So pretty much what it is you have the first 10 hours are covered by the $50 fee that you pay. And then the moment we go over that, say it's 10 hours and like 5 minutes, it's $35. Which again is still fair. I think it is, because it's not even $10 an hour if you were to break it down for the first 10 hours and it was $10 in a minute. It'd be a total of $85. You know, so that's like what? It's like 8 something an hour if you really want to break it down. So this way that encompasses the next time frame. So we'd rather do it that way because I think that it's still cheaper for you guys. Like, you know, if Jerry's working on the platform for more than 10 hours, I think it's only fair that we charge more. Makes sense, you know. So that's pretty much what the fee on that, and it's nothing that's going to kill you. So that's it. That's really it so far. So like I said, customization, rush orders. If there's a platform, pretty much what will happen is I'll work on the existing ones that are in line. I'll do like whether it's shimming, you know, cleaning or doing anything that I gotta do. I'll do that, and then Jerry will rush it out. And part of the reason why we're paying hourly is because sometimes he's got to call out from work, and he's literally
sometimes I literally have to stay up all night to do it.
Yeah, and it only makes sense, you know. And it's also like I kind of view it as a giant FU to the existing customers. So you gotta kind of like pay for it. So, but we understand. Sometimes you guys got games and stuff like that. You want to get it out beforehand. We get it. Like we totally get it. And actually, I want to take this moment real quick to thank all of you guys. You guys have been awesome during this whole time. Like, yeah, every once in a while we'll get people like hitting us up like every single week. Where's my platform? Where's my platform? But the vast majority of you guys have been so cool and so understanding. Like, I remember when I was calling up a bunch of you, including our buddy who's with the bolt pistol, and he was immediately like, he's like, dude, yo, let Jerry get better. Like, and that meant the whole world to us.
Yeah.
You know, that you guys were completely understanding, and like we have not heard anything about it. Like, you know, where anybody was really like complaining. It meant a lot, guys. And so that's kind of like where we're at. What we're going to be doing in the future-ish is trying to get a bunch of more accessories in. I know some people were asking about platforms. Are we going to start selling platforms?
That's a little trickier.
That's trickier. Here's the deal with that. It really just comes down to simple economics. If I go ahead and pick up a Crytek CRB, right? $325. I don't know what I would be getting it for. Again, we don't sell stuff for Crytek, but I'm just saying hypothetically.
Yeah, the problem is we don't have a brick and mortar store, so they won't sell us the guns even if we wanted them.
Yeah, but say hypothetically we did pick up one. Say we were making $375 on it. We still got $275 for it. We still got to pay $275 to get the platform. That's literally our parts budget. That's like BBs. That's, you know, that's our propane stuff. So like,
and that's just for one gun.
And that's for one platform. Like, the only way that it's eventually going to work is Jerry and I are going to start making custom platforms. It will happen. It'll probably happen around the summertime-ish, but we are going to start doing it.
That's what we'll probably do. We'll probably get like one gun at a time.
Yeah.
And we'll customize it and then sell that. Kind of like Umbrella Armory, but hopefully not like $1,400. We want to make it a little more affordable.
Yeah.
Not that those guns aren't worth it, because they got Siege Tech gears and BTC Spectres and God knows how much other cool stuff that they do to it. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. And also like different prices. I think they have like a $300 one, a $500.
I don't even know, but that it's just crazy. And I know from being on the other side of the curtain there, I know exactly what kind of work goes into building a high quality, high precision machine.
Yeah.
and it's worth the money. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you get it, it works.
It does, and like it's
and it
something
will
that
continue to work as long as you don't mess with it.
yeah, as long as you don't open it or anything like that. Oh yeah, I forgot to say warranty. Guys, we also have our warranty. It's for a year, and pretty much as long as you don't open up the gun, you just send it back to us. The only thing you gotta do is you gotta pay for shipping, there and back. That's it.
Yep.
So, which I think is fair because if your MOSFET gets fried or your motor gets destroyed or the inside of your gearbox gets blown up, which hasn't happened, we only
Like a piston, basically like if a piston strips or if a gear breaks or something like that.
yeah.
Or like or if a MOSFET fries or something.
Yeah. We've only had 3-4 platforms come back to us out of the
Not even
30 or 40 something that we've done.
It's just been 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 2. And
Yeah, it's just 2.
and one of them was a little kind of sketchy. So like, it was like one was an actual like accident. I think one was somebody just, did something on purpose. We still covered it, but like the point I'm trying to make is like it's legit. Like, so if anybody complains whatsoever about what the new pricing is and stuff like that, which I really can't see done because you go anywhere else, it's hourly payment and it's usually $15 or $20 or more.
Yeah.
So I can't.
And then it's $45 just to look at the gun sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta charge you to look at it. They gotta charge you to open it up. Like with us, everything's just covered under our fee, so I really can't see anyone complaining. It's you also got a warranty out of it, like you covered, unless like we say something different, like we're truly getting a platform that is like just absolutely horrible. But at that point, we probably wouldn't even open it up. Like we probably wouldn't even open it up. We just tell you, dude, it's just a bit better if you get another one because the stuff that we would have to do to it, it's not worth the money.
Yeah.
So,
your gun has been totaled.
Yeah. But yeah, so that like, going back to what we were saying about the platforms and stuff, that's part of the reason why we don't get them. If we do get them, it's going to be custom platforms. It just doesn't pay for us to pick them up. And like I said, we know what we're good at. And what we're good at is providing you accessories, getting you the essentials that you need to play. But our main focus is working on the platform. That's what we do. That's us. That's our specialty. So the idea of trying to do everything else, like getting gear and getting all this other stuff, in my opinion, especially now, isn't worth it. Because we're also limited on what we can invest in. So like, we're only going to invest in what we're good at. Because you guys can go anywhere else. Like, I'm always down and telling people all the time, dude, if you don't got it, like, I was like, one guy wanted us to do Kydex holsters. I literally sent him Blade Tech and Blackhawk. I showed him all these other hard holsters that he can get. Like, I don't care. If we don't have it, I'm going to show you where it is. Like, we're not trying to...
Where we would get it, because we're players too, so we want to look for the same things you guys want.
Yeah, a bunch of guys were asked about Polar Star stuff. I sent them Airsoft's website. Other guys, we got stuff from, like, Airsoft GI, and we were showing them, like,
Yeah.
we're players, and, like, we want you guys to have what you want, and we're not going to always have it. But that doesn't mean we're not going to help you. We're going to point you in the right direction. I think that's the major point about this, and I think we're just going to continue focusing on what we're good at, which is working on the stuff and getting you the stuff that you guys want. The reason why we picked up like all these replica scopes and optics is because you guys like them, and now you can afford them. A lot of guys who couldn't afford them before. I mean, we also do card now at Fields, so if you guys can't do cash, you can do card, and it definitely like that's like our main thing. Like, you want your platform to perform well, and then you want it to be decked out and look cool. Like, that's usually the name of the game. And soon we're going to be getting like external stuff as well. We just gotta make sure that we invest down that road. But we're trying to secure everything else first and make sure that we have plenty of everything else before we try anything new, which I think is the right thing to do. Is there anything else? We're gonna do a whole video on that. Oh,
Preview.
Okay, preview, guys. We're manufacturing something. And
It starts with M.
It starts with an M. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
All right.
What
right.
else could this be?
Oh, yeah. So we started manufacturing MOSFETs, and you guys got to stay tuned because
This is the, I guess, first production model of the Freak FET as named by the creator. We have right there.
It's got our logo and everything on it.
Except it wasn't big enough because, like I said, first run.
Yeah.
But these work. They're the first production model. They're the first run at it, but they work really well. They're durable. The thing has a built-in heat sink, so it doesn't overheat in any way, shape, or form. It's really windy right now, and it has a whole bunch of stuff that I don't understand, like resistors and
Yeah.
I don't make them.
Yeah.
I just install them.
Pretty much, you know what? Forget it. We'll just do it. So pretty much what ended up happening was we were getting new fets, and they work great, but Jerry just knew a guy that was 3 blocks down the road that would make them for us.
Yeah, my friend, he just says, "Hey, I'm gonna make you MOSFETs. It'll be fun." I said, "Sure."
Yeah.
So that's really why we did it.
Yeah,
But we'll go in depth in the next video.
Yes. So that's pretty much it, guys. So if anybody else has any questions or anything, like I said, we're still alive. The company A is not going under. You know, B, we've just been busy, and C, we've been really trying to work on straightening everything out, and I think we've been doing a good job about it. So if you guys
Also, it's been too cold to sit out here and do a video.
yeah, that's true too.
Now it's warm.
Now it's nice and warm. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you next time on the field.